Talkin Sex Live is recorded for a live audience. This show is for mature listeners, and all advice is for entertainment purposes only. This is Talkin Sex Live with Chet and Diane. I'm Diane.
And I am Chet, and we're unlicensed sexual health therapists. We're not any type of licensed sexual therapist. We just like to have a lot of sex.
Lots and lots of sex.
We stopped having sex right before the show. It was difficult to get our pants back on and stuff and get all ready. Like, our camera people are just like, get your goddamn clothes on. You are going to be on in 15 minutes. And we did it, and we're here. And we're going to talk to you. We're going to answer some questions from callers, as well as talk about, our sexual and relationship health. So tonight, we are joined by our producer and our good friend who's also been a sexual expert in the past, Peter Ross. How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing so well, Chet and Diane. Thank you for having me. So happy to be here talking about sex and positivity.
That's right. So he's our sex toy expert. But for our actual guest specialist for tonight, we have Ember, who's an orgasm doula and a financial... I still can't get your...
I'm a spiritual financial advisor and an orgasm doula.
I like the orgasm doula. Please explain a little bit about this financial sexual advisor situations here. This is a little confusing for me, but yes.
It's the most intuitive thing it could be. That's why it's so confusing, right? So basically, I get in touch with your spirit, and then together we decide what's really going to work for your spirit financially.
What?
I'm not talking about how much money's in your bank account. I'm talking about what are you going to do to make your spirit happy by spending money.
It's like, wait. So is it a figuratively like your, money is financially is like your aura type of finance, or is it actually physical money that you have in your bank account?
You use your real money.
Okay.
I just help you, with suggestions on how to spend it. Sometimes people will have a decision, sometimes hard decision to make, whether it's, do I go with my wife to Cancun, or do I get surgery for my son, right? These are financial decisions that you need to make.
Yeah.
And
if you would be a pretty shitty parent if you didn't get your surgery for your son. Like, sorry,
don't tell that to
Billy.
Mr. and Mrs. Wilson, because they are in Cancun right now.
Oh, God.
Because that's what their spirit said.
Poor Billy can't get surgery
He'll be
for his
fine.
appendix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Next month.
Go to UK where it's free. Yeah.
You could do that.
So explain a little bit about the orgasm doula. So we all know doulas with the, giving birth to children.
Sure, there's a birth doula who helps bring children into the world through the womb. There's also a death doula.
Oh, really?
Which helps people be birthed into the next life. Transition, right?
Or just die, because that's how some atheists believe, right?
Well, even atheists want a death doula sometimes because while you're alive, there's a process that we all go through. We have a lot of questions. We have anger. Maybe we orgasm. I don't know. Wow. Everyone is different.
I know I'm going to have an orgasm when I die.
I hope you do.
That's my goal.
So you're going to die on top of me? Or are you
no.
masturbating?
Under is better.
Under,
on
yes.
top.
Yeah. That was always my dream, is to have someone sitting on my face when I die.
Yeah. Diane and I, we've committed that when I die, it's going to be up in Lake Tahoe, and on a beach house there in Lake Tahoe, and she's going to be riding me when we're like 85 or 90 years old, and I'm just going to die from an amazing orgasm.
Yeah.
That is my goal in life.
If she just injects you with some fentanyl first, it'll work.
Good God.
Yeah.
All right, just keep that on the side there.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do, and then you get to...
Trying to give you the practical tools you need.
Yeah. So, but what is an orgasm doula?
Well, an orgasm helps birth orgasms into the world.
Orgasm doula helps birth orgasms?
So it helps bring the orgasm from where it is inside of you and helps bring it out into the world where it can be experienced.
So this is like if you're having problems having orgasm?
Well, I mean, even a woman who is not having trouble birthing a baby could still use an orgasm doula, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just about the orgasm happening, which, let's be honest, everybody has a little trouble sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm there to help with that. But
Oh.
even if you have it within you to make it happen, it doesn't mean that it's as ferocious and amazing as it could be.
So do you like go out on site and help couples like while they're having sex and giving tips and whatnot and coach them to try to have an orgasm, or?
In a way, Diane, have you used a birth doula before?
I have not.
No, we haven't had any children, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, no, whatever you imagine a birth doula is like, it's nothing like that. Okay.
Okay.
So I sit with the couple while they're embraced in each other's loins.
Oh.
And then I do some chanting,
Okay.
okay? And I get you each in touch with your own inner selves so that your inner selves can have sex and your orgasm can be from your inner spirit.
So there's no penetration or no touching?
No, you fuck each other.
Oh,
You
okay, you fuck
definitely
each other. I was
Yeah, no,
gonna
there's
say,
a lot of
it
fucking.
seemed like you were just sitting there
Fucking,
just
sucking.
oming and
No,
just
no, 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 no,
connecting on a
no,
spiritual
very
level.
little oming, but
Okay. On the actual clitoris and labia.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
things that can be done with an
Although
om.
voice lessons.
Yeah, just vibrating on the lips.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very intriguing. Maybe
Something to try.
Yeah. On Talkin' Sex Live, we have a very special guest. He is a sex tech expert. He is an actual sex tech. He made a full technological cock ring, basically. I'm not going to explain it any further. We're going to just go ahead and welcome to the show Dr. Elliot. How are you doing, Dr. Elliot?
It's great. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, so explain a little bit about your product there. We've looked at it online. It's like it's a cock ring, but it goes behind the balls or testicles, and it goes underneath the shaft, kind of right or wrong. It kind of pinches up on the very small bottom of the base there. Is that correct?
Well, I like to think of it as a dick bit.
Dick bit. I like that. Like a Fitbit, but with a penis. A dick bit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in this incredible age of healthcare, wearables, smartwatches, smart rings, smart bands, but there's a gap. And that gap is where, about the health system that everyone likes the most, which is the penis and the clitoris.
Yes.
So we basically have developed and we're marketing the world's first smart cock ring. We have documented 57,000 erections. We have the world's largest database of dick data, basically.
Dick data, I like it. So
we are transforming the way in which urologists and sexologists think about men's sexual health.
Okay, so I'm kind of a nerd with this stuff, and so is Peter. Peter's very into sex toys and likes science and statistics and whatnot. So how are you coming up with this data? Like, are you able to explain a little bit more of the science and whatnot?
Sure. I really knew nothing about this. I've always been to sex toys. I'll say that, and I'm glad you guys are too. But about 3 years ago, I was challenged by a professor of urology to come up with a way of counting the number of nocturnal erections that men have. And my response was, well, what the fuck for? We know about morning wood, but why do we care about nocturnal erections? And he said, well, because they're a leading indicator of man's cardiovascular health.
Wow.
That kind of took me aback, because now we're talking about a sixth vital sign. And what vital sign do men care more about than other than the health of their erections? Men are only as healthy as their last maybe 2 orgasms.
Yeah.
So
mine was this morning.
And for women, it's probably about 3 or 4. But this is profoundly important to us. So this doctor, like most urologists, straight urologists that is what I call a cock ring virgin, and I'm not. So my response when he said this to me, was, why limit ourselves to nocturnal erections? Let's assess all erections.
Yeah.
And what do men care more about? The ones they have when they're fucking, or the ones they have when they're sleeping? That's a rhetorical question.
No, it's all right.
In order to count the number of nocturnal erections, we have to solve the cock ring problem. I'll get to that in a moment. But this is what the ring looks like.
Oh,
wow.
So there's a pressure sensor here. There's a strain gauge here in the hook. It goes on differently for a couple of reasons. Well, see, the guy drops his balls in, wraps around the balls, and then hooks like that.
That makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, that looks.
So
that can be very pleasurable.
Well, it's pleasure. Well, that was like secondary, but it's actually one of the major achievements of this. So worn overnight we count the number of nocturnal erections, how long they last, how hard they are, and the number. If that number goes down, if a man went from 5 to 2 or 3 to 0, that man has a significant chance of having a heart attack in the next 1 to 2 years.
Oh, really?
Well, that's profoundly valuable.
Oh, man,
so because
I'm
when we say
now.
leading indicator in medicine, medicine, we treat associations, and often stupidly. So high blood pressure is associated with heart attack and stroke. Elevated blood pressure is associated with heart attack and stroke. Elevated lip proteins are as well too, but they're associated. They're not predictive. So if everyone on this call, all 5 of us had if our systolic blood pressure went from 120 to 150, why do we care? I really want to know what's going on in my coronary arteries. Similarly, if my lipid proteins, my cholesterol was 280 and not 200, well, I really want to know what's going on in my coronary arteries. But if your nocturnal erections went down, I'm thinking about you, Chet, or Peter.
Yeah.
If you got, and the average man has 3+ nocturnal erections.
Oh, I was going to guess 6. I thought I would. I usually have about 6. Yeah, that's
Chet
what.
Anyway,
Diane will go ahead and mark down how many times I have a boner in her back, and it's about 6 times.
Well, in the future we could give her a notification on her phone.
Every time she gets a boner in her back.
Every time you get a boner at night, she could just jump you.
Yeah. Well. It's usually like I would say about once every 2 weeks he jumps me when I get a boner.
That you remember.
That I remember, yeah. So I have woken up and being like, "What the fuck's going on?" And Diane's just riding me, and I'm like,
"Good job, Diane."
Yeah, yeah.
So I was curious on this one. Are you going off of comparison historical data for the person, or purely the average baseline when it comes to the information you're pulling from this?
Well, that's a great question. So previously, there was a device called the Rigiscan that looks like something Dr. Frankenstein would put on your balls. And you'd have to go to a sleep lab and wear it overnight.
Some people are into that.
Yeah.
It's not going to make you hard, man. And you can't fuck when you're wearing it. It's kind of scary. It attaches to a box.
Some people are into that.
Yeah.
Some people are into that. We'll talk about scary later on. But and that device has kind of fallen out of fashion because along came the PD5 medications, Viagra, Cialis being the biggies, and it just fell out of fashion. And also, doctors lost the billing code. If doctors lose the billing code, they're not going to do it anymore. Wow. And so the data for what's normal in men comes from really data on just a few hundred men. And so what we're learning is what the conventional wisdom is for just about nocturnal erections, or even about what the causes of ED are different than what doctors have presumed on the basis of that limited data set and their conjecture, and also how pharma has influenced people to think that men's major problem is going to be solved by pills, and it isn't.
Now, is the device is it on its own purely tracking count of erections or tracking the erections themselves? Is it collecting other data, or is it are you collecting that other data in concert with another device, perhaps like a wearable wristwatch or Fitbit or something like that, or what is it? Is it more than just erection count?
Right, phone, right?
Right. It's a phone-based app. You can find us in the Google and Apple stores, and we're measuring the number of nocturnal erections, how hard they are, and how firm they are, and that's a reflection of your cardiovascular health, and also of medications that you take, or alcohol, recreational drugs. But the device can also be worn during sex, and again, it measures how long you last and how hard you are. So with this information, you could then measure the impact of diseases, diabetes, hypertension, atherosclerosis. You can measure the impact of medications, and we doctors stupidly prescribe cock and clit killing medications, antihypertensives, and antidepressants without any consideration of their sexual impact. I mean, think, you got someone who's depressed, and then you're going to kill their dick or their clit. I mean,
that's no fun.
It doesn't get dumber than that. Do we doctors never ask people questions about their sexual health? Almost never ask questions about their sexual health. You know why? Because there's no money in it. People want to say it's cultural, and there are cultural inhibitions of people talking about sex. But believe me, if there's a box right now, you go see the doctor, there's an electronic health record, and if anyone on this call had chest pain, there'd be like 15 questions that would pop up, and I get notifications, so I didn't check the box. It'd be like, "Hey, Elliot, asshole, you didn't rule out peptic ulcer disease. Hey, Elliot, dummy, Chet might have a dissecting aneurysm.
Oh no.
Hey, Elliot, Ember over there, she might just have heartburn. It'd be so. I expect to rule out all these things, but when it comes to if a man goes, or woman, frankly, that man goes to a doctor and says, "I'd like my sexual health where it is," or "I got a problem," there's no box to check. So it's actually really disturbing.
Yeah.
Doctor, I had a quick question. Sorry for interjecting, but you mentioned what is the number one cause of ED that the doctors have no idea? Can you tell us what it is?
Sure. The number one cause of ED is what I call venous leak, or what all women or men have experienced, which is a fading erection.
Venus leak.
Venous leak. And I don't mean VENUS.
Okay.
I mean VENOUS.
Yeah.
So every erection,
right?
Penile or clitoral erection ends with blood leaving the penis or the clitoris. As we get older, the blood leads faster. I'm looking over there at Ember, and she's an attractive lady, and I don't want to cut in on Chet and Diane there, but
that's all right. She's very attractive.
if I would hold Ember's hand when I was, say, 16 years old, I would have gotten a hard on for about an hour and a half.
Wow.
That doesn't happen at my age. I'm 71 years old.
Oh wow. I
don't technically have ED. I try to have sex every day, probably as you guys do, because an orgasm a day keeps the doctor away, right?
Exactly. That's what I like saying.
What happens as we get older is that the smooth muscle around our veins loses its strength, and our small venules, the little veins, they get stiffer. So blood leaks. So if I sat in a plane for 5 or 6 hours, my socks might get tight, my rings might get a little bit tight, because I'm no longer pumping blood back into my heart the way I did when I was 25 years old. What happens in the penis is that we lose our erections faster, and that's where cock rings are a mechanical solution to the most common cause of ED, which is venous leak. And then venous leak then leads to loss of confidence. A man who's worried about losing his erection, sustaining his erection, is a man who's probably going to lose his erection.
Yeah.
Women don't have this issue because they have vibrators.
Yeah.
So aside from the pleasure impact of vibrators, on neurological pleasure impact, there is the impact of vibrators on the vascular system. The vibrations stimulate blood flow. So venous leak for the clitoris is less of an issue than it is for the the problem is for men.
Yeah, if I ever lose my erection, Diane just wants me to go down on her, and I'll end up just eating her out. But
if you have a ring on, you're likely to stay hard without any stimulation than without a ring.
So explain how the ring actually promotes an erection. I read on your website that it kind of, well, I guess it pinches your urethra so that you can last longer and it's more pleasurable. How does it actually keep your erection harder for longer?
Sure. When I started working on the tech ring, the ring with technology, this one that I just showed you, I realized. I thought that we need to come up with. I was actually solving the cock ring problem. What's the cock ring problem? Why do they suck? Yeah. Well, they're these silicone O-rings.
We don't
use gaskets.
We don't use them at all.
They can only go on for 25 or 30 minutes because they pinch. They're uncomfortable. Kind of a drag to put on.
And they don't do anything for the woman either. So
they don't. And they also. So they block the arterial circulation. It's like a noose on your dick. Well, who wants to lynch their dick?
No.
So,
I mean, some people are into that.
Yeah, some people are into that.
Well, some people do. That's true. In order to come up with a way of counting nocturnal erections overnight, we had to change the material from silicone to elastomer. So our rings are softer. They don't block the arterial flow in, so they can put on when a man is flaccid. They can be worn for hours. They just constrain the venous return from the penis. Imagine like a plug blocking a sink, a faucet, a plug blocking a bathtub, like 75%. So what does that do? One, that we compress the superficial veins, and that holds blood in the penis. What men don't realize is beyond rock hard, there's cock ring hard. Nothing can get a man harder than a cock ring. No amount of vaginal, oral, manual stimulation get a hard because you need that compression. Now, when I use our ring, this ring, we call the maximum performance ring, the ring without technology, my girth increases by 4 millimeters.
Wow.
Well, no one's going to walk by and say, "Oh, dude, porn star, 4 millimeters." Yeah. But that's the most amount of blood that I get in my penis. So this ring was designed. The pressure over the urethra is something else. The pressure over the urethra was designed to produce a more intense orgasm.
Okay.
Because men have shit. Men have they have these stupid strokers that look like something you can beat your partner to death with, and you got to have like 3 hands to work the damn thing. Anyway, women have vibrators. Cock rings need to be mainstream. Comfortable, effective cock rings need to be mainstream like vibrators. I mean, my mother's vibrator was,
don't want to think about that.
Closet in the garage.
Yeah, it's like a huge Hitachi wand that's like 8 feet long.
Yeah, I went to an antique shop once and saw an antique vibrator, which was literally a 2-prong wall plug, and it looked like it would probably kill you if you used it wrong.
Well, that's what they used back to treat hysteria. Back in
the doctors.
Yes.
Would use it on you to calm you down, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked. That's how
solve those woman problems.
Yeah. She has the hysteria, but anyway, sorry.
I have used a cock ring with a vibrator on it before. Does the ring that you made, does it have a vibrating option?
It now does. But the problem with the cock rings with a vibrator. Well, let me just back to the urethra just again for 1 second.
I like it. No, sorry we interrupted.
So the idea with the urethra was to put the right amount of pressure over the urethra to increase the ejaculatory phase, not to choke it off and produce retroejaculation, which can be uncomfortable and lead to infection. So we tested on 21 men here in Montana, aged 28 to 70. I was the oldest guy in the test group.
Nice.
And my ejaculatory phase, we'll go increasing everyone's ejaculatory phase by 50%. I think you like this, Chet, because we all guys start wanking when almost all guys start wanking when they're 12, 13 years old.
12.
And we think we're like connoisseurs, gourmets of our own orgasm. I don't, but I never use the cock ring regularly. For cock rings, for me, probably like for you, where, hey, my wife and I go to a sex toy store a couple of times a year, we buy one. But they suck. You throw it out. So the goal was by increasing the ejaculatory phase, it's an incredible orgasm, and I don't have sex without it. And my wife likes it because I'm gonna have a dynamite orgasm. She knows I'm gonna be. If I'm more confident, she's more confident. To your point about, hey, my wife likes me to go down there for like 25 or 30 minutes.
45, yes.
Well, it's kind of a turn on for her. And for me, if I'm hard that entire time. Because with the ring on, I'm hard. The cock ring, the vibrator, the problem with most of these cock rings vibrators is that the vibrator is built into the ring itself, so it's in the wrong position for the clitoris. And then some of the larger ones, like the Lilo Tortu or the Tenuta by Mystery Vibe, what my wife calls a landing pad is just too big. It's like if you have penetrative sex, it kind of interferes. And then also, Amber, I don't know about you, but my wife likes the fact that our customers, our rings are covered with a soft elastomer. They're not covered with silicone, so it's not as irritating to her most delicate part, which is the clitoris. So
you don't like getting a burn down there, like a friction burn or any sort of
UTIs.
No UTIs.
We're launching this. We're launching this product in February. And it's called the Ring Mate.
It looks like a tongue. It looks like a tongue that's going to be on top of your penis.
On purpose.
Yeah, okay.
My wife designed it that way.
Oh, nice.
When you have a cock ring that you open up, you can slide things on and off it. So this can sit right here. It's in the right position anatomically for the clitoris. It's coated with soft elastomer.
Is it a flicker? Is it a flicker or is it a vibe?
3-speed. It's 3-speed vibrator.
Okay, so just a vibe?
Yeah.
All right.
Right, because our survey, it's not surprising. I mean, most women don't want 45 speeds and 55.
Oh, no, it's so annoying. Like, it totally kills your lady boner when you have to sit there and cycle through all the different vibrating
settings. Then you skip over it, you have to turn it off, and go again.
I've gone through enough of these various toys, and the settings are ridiculous. You go, and it's like, how about I tease you with this setting, and then suddenly it's down to here, and then it's back up to here. It's like,
nobody likes it.
No, just give me strength control, and that's it. Yeah.
Nice job, Dr. Elliot. 3's the way to go.
Simplicity.
Keep it simple.
And also, in dim light, it's hard to even fucking see where the damn buttons
Where's
are.
the damn buttons?
About a month ago, my wife threw one across the wall. She's just really at the edge, and then it's like then suddenly went to this sort of asynchronous thing, and it's like, and so she's looking at it. It's just anyway. So this is also designed for solo use. So a lot of women complain. It's not meant to me. I'm an older guy. That holding a vibrator leads to wrist fatigue because a wand, a vibrating dildo, it's just
the ergonomics.
This allows finger, you got it, finger control. So if we're having sex from behind, this is a lot better than moving my fingers, back and forth and getting my wrist tired, because this allows me to put the vibrator right where she wants it.
Yeah, sorry. For the podcast, it literally looks like it's a tongue on his fingers. So this is a tongue on your fingers. This is brilliant. This is amazing. Yeah. I mean, if Diane would, I guess, leave me because all she stays with me is because of my tongue. Now, I have a very long tongue. So
talk to me about the lifespan of the materials, because especially anything stretchy over time tends to wear out, and that's understandable. Things can be consumable, but I'm just curious what kind of lifespan people can expect out of a device like this.
That's a great question. The tech ring is covered with an elastomer sleeve that lasts about 4 to 6 months, depending on how people use it. Okay. And I want to warn people that with all of our rings are made out of elastomer, and vegetable oils destroy it. So if people are using coconut oil, or their wife or their female partner or even male partner is using a vegetable oil, usually coconut oil, and it took us about 6 months to figure it out, because we had a few customers who were breaking them again and again and again. Well, and first it becomes, these people are abusing it. It's the same. 5 or 6 people are producing almost all of our breaks. And then we realize it's coconut oil.
They're fucking too much.
The QA process on anything is crazy, because you can never ever predict the wildest things people are going to do with whatever it is you're testing them for.
It's not supposed to massage your prostate. I'm sorry.
Right.
But
and why did you expect it to fit under your car tires and survive? Right.
So I'm going to back up a little bit. What is when you say elastomer? I actually took some like polymer classes. Like what is an elastomer? Is it like a synthetic blend of different type of plastics and silicone, or what is that?
It's a subset of silicone. I mean, silicone is actually all. Silicone ranges from, it can be a liquid to jet airplane tires. So it depends upon it's a polymer. And elastomer is a subset, and ours is a medical grade elastomer.
Okay.
But Peter, we now sell the tech ring with a second sleeve inside of it, so that people get
like a pillowcase.
People get 8 to 12 months out of a year from it, and we sell additional sleeves on our website.
So the expensive part is reusable, but then you can replace the
the electronics. I can show you. The electronics come out.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like an Apple Watch with a new band.
Yeah. So for the podcast, for people to listen here, so this is it's like a
there's
tech
a hole there. Do you see the hole?
Oh.
Look at that. All right.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So it's
sexy.
So just to back up a little bit more, this is more like just it's a ring, like what you have, like a Nuvo ring or whatever that's on your finger, or like a Fitbit that's on your wrist that will measure the blood pulsing through the veins that are going underneath the device, right?
And the erection strength.
So it's actually going underneath. It's measuring the pulsating veins in your penis to actually record the data that goes to a like a cell phone. Is that correct?
We're measuring as the penis expands in girth. It pulls down the strain gauge, and it deforms the pressure sensor, and then the computer translates that into 1 to 10 score of firmness.
Man, so
and do you have varying sizes of these that people have to pick from, and a measurement system that they choose?
Yeah, we only for the tech ring. It's almost one size fits all. A guy who's greater than 6 inches in girth. That's girth. Really big guys. They'll tear the elastomer.
That is.
And there are guys who are really small and sad, and it slips off. And I just there's, but the bell curve for penises for girth is really, it's narrow. So it fits 95% of men. I mean, if you're bigger than this, no one wants to have sex with you. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Get your tongue ready there.
It's not medically possible.
Yeah, not without some real work.
I've had 5 or 6 of those guys call me up or do video calls to them, and their situation's sad. I mean, you might have be the intimidating star of your high school locker room or college locker room. And there are men and women who want to sleep with you as a novelty.
Yeah.
But these guys, one night stand only.
Yeah.
Gotta get on FetLife.
They're lonely.
Yeah. Coke can dicks right there. So get on FetLife and just find a woman.
Let's go back to Venus League and confidence. There are one of the advantages of a ring is that it addresses that very issue. So there are 3 things, in my opinion, well, from talking to customers and my own experience, there are 3 things that men don't want to say, we'll talk about, we need communication in relations. But there are 3 things that men don't want to talk about with women or their boy or men with men. One is, I don't feel anything. As women get older, or if men who are bottoms have lots and lots of sex, the muscles get more flaccid, and a ring addresses that. Because I'll just pick on my own wife, who's in the room here, and she's heard me say this before. But there were certain positions. We married 37 years this year, and we've had a lot of sex.
Nice.
And there's certain positions that I don't feel anything. But now with a ring, it's okay because I'm not. So if like the missionary position, for me, after she had a second child, we've had 3. It just didn't work for me anymore. Without a lot, unless she's going to hang in there for an hour, and she still want to hang in there for the fucking hour. Yeah. So I would actually get annoyed. Yeah. I'm a guy. I would get, you're like, you want me to have sex in that position? I'm going to lose my erection. Yeah. What the fuck? But now with the ring, I'm a guy with a hard on, and a guy with a hard on who's not worried about losing his hard on. That's a totally different mindset. Hey, I love her. You want to have sex in the missionary position, or another would be sex from behind. Because after her 3rd child, that also became a position with limited friction for me.
Really? Yeah.
Wow. But now, hey, and like a lot of women, after she has an orgasm or 2, she likes certain positions to get into whatever her intimacy space and fantasies are. But I would lose my erection. Yeah. Not kind of a turn off for me, and a confidence loser for her because she's worried. She cares about me. She's worried about my losing my erection. So, but with a ring on, we have sex for 45, 50 minutes with minimal stimulation in positions that previously would have annoyed me. Yeah. Now, the other thing that guys don't like to talk about friction. Another one is boredom. Okay, we've done this 10,000 times.
That's right.
Just mix it up.
Well, a guy with a hard on isn't bored. A guy with a hard on is still there. And the last one is distraction. Now, I don't know whether it's Diane and Ember, these kind of women. You can tell me in a moment, but men tell me, and my wife does this too, that somehow, even when they're really turned on, they can start thinking about other things, and they got to say it.
Oh yeah, well,
diagnosed ADHD here.
Yeah. I when I go down on Diane for like 30 minutes, sometimes my mind goes elsewhere.
Yeah, but then I go elsewhere, and then I start
and then it's
about
just like
women.
we ended up like thinking about other things, and she's got to hit me in the head, like, hey.
Yeah, some people are really into that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, well,
get your head in the game, Chet.
Get on it.
Hit that head.
I mean, he has his head in the game.
Yeah, literally in the game.
There's nothing. A leash on your balls would probably have the kind of similar effect.
Again, some people are into that. Yeah.
So, Dr. Elliot, we got about 5 minutes here. So, please, you have 3 different products, and if you want to go ahead and explain those products, you have 4 different products. Okay, if you want to explain those 4 products and then where you can find them, and we will go ahead and put up like a website on the screen right here. But just go ahead and explain all that stuff for us.
Sure. Well, first I want to talk about the 5th product that's coming. And this is the Clit. Okay. This is the world's first monitor of the health of the clitoris.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
Wonderful.
Fancy.
And we've already tested it. This is the form. Goes in like that. Pressure sensor inside behind the pubic symphysis to measure PCG muscle contractions of orgasm.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But also, most importantly, right here, sensors to assess blood flow, temperature, pulse amplitude of the clitoris.
That's amazing.
And that will be a game changer for women, because women will now be able to assess the impact of diseases, medications, and women are poisoned with hormones and with SRI antidepressants. Younger women and older women, same problems men have with medications.
And is that vibrating as well?
Or is that just a medical
It'll be a vibrator.
Device?
It's also a great sex toy as well too.
Oh, wow.
We've my wife and I've had sex multiple times with the form.
Wow.
What's the material of that one? Sorry, what's the material of that one? Is still the elastomer? Or?
This is a 3D printed model. This is hard plastic, but it'll be an elastomer.
Got it.
It'll be elastic with a wire inside of it, so it can be adjusted for different, basically to stay in place. And so we have the check ring, which retails for $275. That is the world's first monitor smart cock ring, first monitor of men's sexual health. And then we have our number one seller, which is the Maximum Performance Ring. This is designed to produce a more intense orgasm and comfortably keep men hard for a long time.
So the same thing without the
that's
sensor.
No technology. And then there's the performance ring, which is for men who are larger or think they're larger.
Yeah.
And then there's the ring mate, which is the world's, in fact, it's the only modular clitoral vibrator that can go on and off cock rings.
It's a tongue on top of your penis. It's Diane's
but
fantasy.
vibrating unit. Yeah, I can see how that would press against the right area. That seems very cleverly placed.
It makes penetrative sex almost too easy.
Wow.
The first time that we used it, my wife's complaint was that she came too quick.
Wow. That's amazing.
You know, women can have more than one orgasm.
Oh, yeah.
Some people don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Well, that's because the clitoris is superior to the penis.
It is.
Well, I guess what's the easiest way to buy your product? Is it on your website, or is there external? Are you trying to get on Amazon, or is there any place else that you're trying to
We're in Amazon, but we'd rather you buy it from us. Of course.
What's the name of your website?
It's MyFirmTech, MyFirmTech, myfirmtech.com.
Dr. Elliot, this is an amazing product, and we will look into it. I think we're going to actually have to get some and try it out and let you know how it worked for Chet and Diane right here. It is absolutely a great idea, great advice. It's something that every man should be tracking as you get older.
Agreed. Agreed. Absolutely.
So it's not only for your penile erection and sexual health, but also just for your general health, like you were saying. And it's kind of like one of those breakthrough products that people really aren't really understanding because of the whole sex aspect. People try to get into like, oh, it's sex, it's bad, but no, this is actually, it's part of our lives. It's our health. It's part of our health.
It's a core component of human health. Absolutely.
We can't survive the human race can't survive if we don't have sex. So it's something that's very important to the human race. So.
And nobody addresses clitoral health. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you have any competition on the market for anything like that.
No. With no competition in either. For men or for women.
But even the doctors don't know what's happening with the clit. There's
right.
nobody who knows what's going on.
It was like 2012 before they actually published the first diagram of the clitoris.
Yeah, that's the first time they announced that the clitoris wasn't just the nub on the outside. Yeah, but they found out that there was more to it. It's like, how did that take you that many centuries to figure out?
Yeah, because none of them had a vagina.
What's weird is that they knew in the past. I mean, they knew
in the 1800s,
and then just it kind of shrank over time. In the if you look at anatomical books from the 18th century, they had the full size of the clitoris, and then of course the 19th century and 20th century, it just got smaller and smaller.
Patriarchy.
Yep, religion and stuff decided to suppress that women didn't need to have pleasure when they're having sex. They're only baby makers, which is really fucked up. But Dr. Elliot, thank you so much for being on Talkin' Sex Live. We really appreciate it. Super smart. Please go to the website that is listed on the screen right now and check out his devices. They sound amazing. We're going to check them out ourselves. Dr. Elliot, please have a good night. Thank you so much for being our guest. It was a pleasure in more than one way of having you on. So thank you.
Thank you.
Put a ring on it.
Thank you.
I mean, they're fascinating devices. You said the lower one is a little cheaper?
It's $60. If you go to his website, it's only $60.
Okay. All right.
So
he's missing a real opportunity there for it to not be $69.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I
want to pay less, but still.
Yeah.
If it would be great if it was a combo of the woman one with the tongue and the actual penis one that would vibrate. That would be a good combo for $69.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there'll be. I'm sure he does combo packs and whatnot. But the design is interesting because I haven't seen the wraparound design there, and I'm very curious. I hope we can pick up some to sample.
This one had it was one that would wrap around the balls, but also wrapped around the base of the penis as well. How that design was.
I'm curious about the tongue on the penis because I've been talking about his dick vibrating for years.
Yeah, when we've been trying to find something, like we actually had like a little cock ring that would vibrate inside, and I put it inside Diane. She's like, "Nope, this does not feel good." Get it out instantly.
We went through that exact issue ourselves. They're usually too hard, and so it's just pressing a hard object against your partner, and nobody likes that.
I did use one that was the ring, then the top was covered also in the jelly polymer, and that was the part that vibrated, and that was the part on top of his penis in touch with the
Yeah.
clitoris.
Did it actually get you off though?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
But that's not super hard, let's be honest.
If his design with the sex tech in it, when you get older and you can't have an erection, there's no price that you can pay to have that erection back. So $230 is nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
whatever the price is a steal.
yeah.
Now, I agree, and as a spiritual financial counselor, I think that this is a very safe investment because even if it doesn't serve to actually create more orgasms, it will serve to create a bond that will at some point lead to more orgasms. Of course.
Yeah.
Which will pay dividends in the long term.
Absolutely.
If we're
Yeah,
speaking
long-term investment, return on investment's high. I'm glad that we had Dr. Elliot on. I'm really excited to check out his products.
Yeah, we
and-
gotta try some.
We're going to have him back after we all try them.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That sounds like a great idea, actually.
give him some feedback maybe
Yeah,
if he's
yeah.
open to it, if
Yeah.
he needs it.
Like that.
He can use my data.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
wants to give me one of those.
The female ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So also it seemed like that one was that was mainly for getting information, and then secondarily also could be a sex toy.
Right. Yeah, we didn't get the chance to ask him, but I was curious because it's not as though women would be tracking the equivalent of nocturnal erections. So
Yeah.
what circumstances would be worn in? So maybe if we have him back, that's a question to be
Yeah,
asked.
yeah. Well, hopefully, if it's in the future, he'll have the prototype more developed, and
Yes.
he'll actually have the product
Test it out?
Yeah,
Diane, we should be involved in
Yeah, we
that
should.
test group, right? We can give him our data. It's good for all womankind.
Yeah, it needs more women on there.
because they only had 70 men in
How many
Montana.
women? Yeah.
Right.
How
right.
many
So-
women though? Did he
Yeah,
say how
no,
many
no,
women?
because he was just testing penises.
Yeah,
with the
Oh, he
yeah.
wasn't
coffins.
testing
Because
the-
the new device that he showed us, which is very new, is for women, is probably pre-testing since they just had the 3D mock-up. So they'll have to get the actual one with the actual materials and start putting it in some vaginas.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
haven't
sign
done
us
quality
up.
assurance on it, so expand your range there.
I thought you were going to say vagina. That's
Or expand
I
your
was gonna
vagina.
I don't think that's what it's for.
No, it's not. It's just like
Chet, you're
doesn't-
not trying to expand
it's not
the
a
vagina with
dilator.
other
It's not a dilator. Okay.
No.
yeah.
All
It's a
right.
whole other realm of
Well, you
kinks.
said
Yeah.
whole, so
So you can get the whole penis
Touche.
in there.
yes,
or tushy.
tushy.
Maybe both.
Yeah, expand a tushy hole.
Those sometimes do need some expansion.
Yeah, you do. You really
Yeah.
should expand your
At least some foreplay to be able
Yeah.
to really do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Peter, do we have a caller coming in?
Yes, we do, Diane. We have Leroy Shermer calling in, and Leroy wants to know if it's a bad idea to follow through with an opportunity with an unusual sexual partner.
hi, you are talking sex live with Chet and Diane. Is this Leroy?
It's actually Leroy, but that's fine. Either way,
Leroy.
and they actually call me by my real name, which is Leroy. Leroy.
Is it Leroy or Leroy?
Leroy?
It's Leroy.
Leroy. Okay, we got that out of the way. What's
I'm just going to call him Leroy.
Leroy?
Leroy.
Leroy.
Leroy. How about Leroy?
That sounds good. That sounds tough. I like that. Yeah, call me Leroy.
Leroy. So what's your question, Leroy? You're having some problems here?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll be honest. This is not the first show I've called into with this problem.
Really?
But
Water
I
us
feel
down,
like
why don't you?
you guys, it's not that. It's just that it's kind of like a two-fold problem. You'll know what I mean. Sorry. So I haven't really ever believed in the paranormal. Like my whole life, I kind of I've been a skeptic, right?
I don't
And
believe in
people
it
tell
either. I just don't believe in ghosts, but no.
Spirits?
Spirits? No, not at all.
Nothing?
Nope, nothing.
Wow.
When we die, we're just gone.
You're just dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I-
depressing.
I felt the same
Dark.
way that you do for a long time, and then I was at a dog party.
Did you say dog party?
Yeah, I
dog
heard
party.
something else too.
Is it like
dog
a dogging?
Okay.
Dogging
Dog,
party?
a dog party.
Okay,
Dog party,
a party with,
D-O-G.
a party
dog
with
party,
dogs.
like a party where everyone brings their dog.
Okay, like
sure.
a dog park party?
No, it wasn't at a dog park. It was at my friend's house. He's got a big yard.
A dog celebration.
Wow,
Okay.
I didn't
Dog
know that was-
festivities.
No, we weren't celebrating anything. We were just getting the dogs together. Come on, you guys are making it a thing.
It sounds like a thing.
Okay, continue.
Go
Anyway,
ahead.
this dog party, there was a tarot card reader there. And I was like, I'm going to go get my tarot cards read. I said that to my dog, and then I went into the tarot card tent, And this person immediately got totally weirded out, the tarot card reader, when I walked in. And I was like, what's your deal? And they were like, you have like a presence with you. And I was like, whoa. I didn't really know what to say. I'm like, I think this is like some kind of scam, right? Like I'm getting catfished in person by this person.
Okay.
Yeah. But then when I sat down, she was like, there's a spirit with you. And this spirit is acting as a gateway has all these other spirits that want to talk to you.
Sure wasn't just your dog?
Bro, my dog, okay. My
Oh,
dog
you had your
doesn't
dog
talk. I don't know
there.
where you're
Dogs
getting
don't
that from.
talk.
I don't know, like maybe the spiritual
Maybe
reader.
this is
I don't know how
you know
these
what?
guys.
Maybe this is
Just
maybe I did
continue
call
on,
the wrong
Chet.
show.
We need to be
Sorry,
quiet.
I'm confused, but go ahead.
This is not an easy topic for me to
I'm
talk
sorry.
about.
I'm very sorry.
We appreciate your vulnerability, Leroy.
Thank you. Okay. So she said that this presence with me was a conduit into the afterlife, and there were spirits there, several spirits that wanted to talk to me. And at this point, I'm still thinking that it's bullshit. So I'm like laughing it off, and I'm like, only if one of them wants to fuck me.
yeah.
And she
That's
was
what I
like,
would think so.
How I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
right, like I was like just bullshitting, but then someone I guess stepped up to the spiritual mic and was like
Mike
I
D
do,
just
I
being
wanna-
like, I'm on to the crack of dawn. I'm mowing down MCs like I'm mowing the lawn.
I really appreciated
That's
that
all right.
that shout out that you just did.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're good again. You and I were good again.
Good. I appreciate that.
So I said, well, what if one of these spirits wants to fuck me? And this psychic was like, well, one of them says that they might be into it. And then I was like, this is crazy. Who? And I found out it was my high school English teacher, Mrs. Gilbert.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Have you had masturbation dreams about her, or wet dreams, or just general masturbation about her in the past?
Fuck yes, I am. Are you kidding? Fuck yes.
Okay. Continue, sorry.
So Mrs. Gilbert was like the hottest teacher at our high school. And then she died in a train accident.
What?
Oh.
Wow.
That's hot.
Yeah. It's not hot.
Can we
It was
clarify,
traumatizing.
because we're a sex show, what kind of train?
Like it was. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Was it just?
Certainly not like a 12-person train, if that's what you're.
Oh,
Thank you for
Peter.
clarifying.
It was
It's not
good
hot.
train.
A real train wreck is not hot.
Train.
I had to ask because
I
I
really
knew what
appreciate
people were thinking.
Yeah. I
Oh
mean.
my God.
So awkward.
I was picturing
So
a real.
Yeah. Or.
My
12
question
people.
is, the psychic said that there is a way that this can be facilitated, but I don't know if I should do this or not.
Well,
Well, at least you're legal now.
Wait. Yeah. So she can have sex with you, but what do you mean by facilitated? What is that actual?
Like be possessed by.
Yeah, no, like it has to. Somebody has to make this happen. I don't have spiritual powers, right? She said that it's like a thing that needs to be, like, I don't know. You have to have some kind of book or a spell or something. I honestly don't really understand it.
So it's not like that movie with Patrick Swayze and he
Oh,
enters
Ghost,
Whoopi
yeah.
Goldberg.
I
and
just
then
picture
he can
Agatha-
dance with
Agatha
Demi
the
Moore.
Witch, Demi Moore.
Yeah.
No,
Ember,
it is
Ember, do you
nothing
have
like
any experience
Roadhouse.
with this?
Ember should have some stuff.
Well, my first thought was that the tarot card reader wanted to fuck you because everyone knows the old trick,
That's
like
right.
from the movie Ghost, where you're just like, oh, I'm possessed by a spirit who wants to fuck you.
I have fallen for that several times.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's always
I
at,
hadn't even thought about that.
at bar
part.
mitzvahs, at fairs. It happens all the time.
Bar mitzvahs?
Okay, that's crazy.
Jeez.
So let me just clarify. Did she offer to be the conduit through which this spirit fucked you?
Yes.
Ah.
There we go.
So she wants to have sex with you.
Well, I mean, Mrs. Gilbert wants to have sex with me, but I guess I have to use this tarot lady's body for it, and it's going to cost me money. That's the other thing.
Oh, wait,
okay.
wait.
Well, Diane.
Prostitution there.
It sounds like she wants to have sex with you was what Ember was saying earlier.
And I just want to clarify that we're all thinking that it was the tarot card reader herself who wants to fuck you.
100%.
And she's pretending that your science teacher was the one who wants to fuck you, but she just made that part up because you're a vulnerable soul.
Wow, getting right down to it. You are vulnerable, my friend, for people to take advantage of you if you go to CODA meeting.
In fairness, I want to make it clear. That's not a knock on you specifically.
No.
That's just us as humans, maybe especially men. I got to tell you, again, fallen for it several times myself. At a certain point, shame on me, and I get that.
But but did you enjoy yourself, Peter?
This makes so much sense.
So Peter, you did it all the times.
Oh, every time. Yes, yes, gladly.
So, maybe it's not a terrible idea.
No, I have no regrets. Again, maybe the cost.
The cost. Why don't we talk more about that?
Yes.
Well, as a dude, you're just like, I get to have sex.
So you pay for a read and you have sex with
it's
her, and
not
it's not
technically
prostitution.
No.
There you go.
Prostitution, you
You
just...
found a loophole.
Yeah,
the sex is optional. The reading is what you're paying.
Yeah, I think if I was a single man, that would be... I don't know what type of median would like to have that, but I guess she's making money. How much was it?
$25.
$25 for sex?
Leroy, was there going to be additional charges for the actual sex?
Yeah, they tend to upsell.
I didn't ask.
How
But
hot
that
are you,
makes
Leroy?
sense.
Are you hot? Are you a sexy beast?
Maybe she
Yeah,
wants to have
I am
sex
pretty
with you.
hot.
Oh,
I'm pretty
good
hot.
God.
I'm 28. I'm a fireman.
Oh,
Jesus, I want to have sex with
Right?
you.
How old would you say was
Send
the
us your
tarot
photo.
reader? If you had to guess?
She's probably about 26. I would
Oh
guess.
my God.
Wow.
She could
Oh.
have sex with whoever she wants.
That is very young for a tarot reader.
I was expecting you to say like
it is-
58.
Yeah, that's women of all types read tarot, women of youth, women of age.
it doesn't matter.
I'm
doesn't
just going
matter.
to like the Rubble Bubble Toilet Trouble, like the bandana.
And I'm telling you that the thoughts in your head are wrong.
They are wrong,
okay.
Chet. This isn't
Yeah,
Shakespeare's
she didn't
Macbeth.
really.
yeah, totally is Macbeth.
Yeah.
Don't say that in the theater.
And
by
also,
the way.
those women deserve love too.
Yeah. No, I mean, fuck.
Thank you.
And they have experience, let me tell you.
Oh, totally.
yes.
And they could probably just make you have an orgasm with like some potion, you know?
But I don't think that this tarot card reader wanted to be hands off. Doesn't seem that way.
All right. Sorry, Leroy. We got a little bit of a side
Leroy.
Leroy. And
That's okay.
I'm out of my
really-
element again here. But anyways, Leroy, what happened after that? Did you actually pursue the sex with her? Or?
No, I didn't.
Missed
I
out.
did
Didn't
because
have enough money.
I didn't have
$25.
I didn't have a 20 on me. I only had a 5.
Or she
That would
doesn't
be
take
rude.
credit card.
She
have
didn't
that
take it
amount.
on credit?
She puts it on her little
Hell no,
iPhone
I'm
and
not,
you
no,
tap
I'm
it.
not going. I'm not giving a tarot reader my credit card.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
except now if you use like the tap payments, it's all protected. They use this tokenization system
Yeah,
so
but-
they can't scan your card or anything. So you're safe, honestly.
Oh, for real? For
Yeah.
oh, for
Yeah.
real?
Oh, yeah, you could have totally done
Yeah,
it. Sorry
portable.
about that, my friends. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
so,
I'm gonna do it.
so you know it's not real, right? You
Well,
just
here's the thing. No, you guys are totally right. This is $25, right? I can.
you're
part
having
with
sex for $25, and she's a 26-year-old.
I mean, again, to protect Leroy here, Leroy is getting a tarot reading for $25.
That's still cheap
And
for a
the
tarot reading.
Very
reader
inexpensive.
also wants to have sex with him under the guise of being his former teacher.
Because he is
Yeah,
a
but
hot
here's the thing.
28-year-old
What
fireman.
if it's real? Either way, it's fine with me. Now, now that I'm thinking about it, even if it turns out to be real, that's awesome too.
Might be even more awesome. Then it's like a threesome, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
And also, I'm just going to say, ectoplasm, I hear, is a heck of a lubricant.
Yes,
Oh,
quite
I
viscous.
can imagine.
Yeah.
Slimer.
whoa!
Yeah. I got slimed. Yeah.
Where did you hear that? Ghostbusters?
Exactly. Like, that's what they wrote into the script, and
my God.
Raven was like, no, we can't say that all the
Aykroyd was
ectoplasm-
a freak, and the studio had to get involved in pulling a lot of stuff out of that script. I mean, honestly, that's why Ernie Hudson had so much of his original role written out, is because of all the sexual components of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Reitman was like, "No, we're not doing any sex stuff.
Vulgar.
We gotta have kids involved. We got a toy line, all this stuff. Not doing it." So, but
That makes so much
why it was all
sense
implied.
because when Winston comes in in the movie, when he shows up, it's like you're thinking like, this guy looks like he's here to fuck.
Yeah.
Why did they just bring in this guy? He looks like he's ready to fuck.
I thought it was a porno when he showed up, because it's like, that's a sexy man. We're going to have some sexual escapades in this film.
and he came out of nowhere too. It's just all of a sudden like, we gotta add this fourth guy for some reason, and he just shows up, and it's just like, it's almost like he should have like a pizza box, like somebody order a pizza.
Bachelorette party situation.
Yeah. You know, I feel like you're getting a good deal there, Leroy, with going back to this median and paying $25 for some hot sex with a 26-year-old. Granted, you don't have to strive too hard to have sex, because you sound like you're
Pretty hot fireman.
Yeah.
So you know he's in shape and
Like the
You know what,
Ghostbusters
though?
firehouse.
Listen,
I will have sex with you sight unseen.
Yes.
Just based off that description.
thank you.
Come over here.
You wouldn't be disappointed. You really would not be disappointed.
Okay, well, I'll come over, after the show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm into that. That's for free though. No.
That's free.
25
No,
bucks
I
on
don't.
that.
I don't charge.
I mean,
Okay,
come on.
okay, great,
No
great.
prostitution here.
Nope.
Sorry.
I'm a
to say-
spiritual financial advisor, not a prostitute.
Yeah.
Orgasm doula, just saying.
I wanted to say sex worker is a technical term, not
Yes.
prostitute.
Yes.
But yeah, so
It's a catch-all these days, so
Yeah.
sometimes you have to be more specific, but yes.
oldest profession
All
in
right.
the world. So, but yeah. Leroy,
I'm gonna give Ember my info offline. Then.
and then
Namaste.
just be adventurous. We like to be sex positive on this show, so just go ahead and explore some sex relations with this median, and also the high school teacher from whatever her name was, because
Mrs. Gilbert.
Mrs. Gilbert, yeah,
Yeah.
because that sounds like a lot of fun. So
Well, you know what? Anybody can get normal sex, but weird sex comes along only once in a blue moon. Sometimes once in a lifetime, and you got to go for it.
Grab
That's
it.
what you guys taught
Grab
me
it.
tonight.
yeah. All right, Leroy, have a good evening. Please stay sex positive and safe, sane, and consensual. Go get that sex.
Thanks, everybody.
No problem.
See you soon.
Wow. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, there's essentially no one being harmed in this situation.
Not at
because
all.
He's into it. It's very clear that the tarot card reader is into it. Maybe maybe not. His former teacher is into it. We'll probably never know. But
like I-
everyone's
She wouldn't choose
everyone's on
the
board.
body if
Yeah.
she didn't want to, right? That's pretty optional.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's all bullshit. It's not really, there's no ghost involved because it doesn't exist. So,
We can't know.
Debatable.
we can't
There's
know.
no debatable.
well, no, I'm just being the devil's advocate. The
You
odd
really
man out.
think, that you know things that you can't possibly know.
Yeah. I mean,
You can have an opinion.
in fairness, you're the one who kept telling him to go to the median, which I think is the thing in the middle of the
I
freeway.
know, and I was
Ha!
trying not to be rude.
Is that
and
not what it's called? Is it a
it's
medium?
like
with an M?
Yeah, it is.
God, see, this is how out of touch I am.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking more statistically of the mean, the median,
Yeah, no.
and whatever that.
There's
other
no
third
like
thing is.
average tarot card reader
Right.
situation.
It's not like they're the middle of the road between this plane and the next.
Yeah.
I see where you're going, but
Yeah.
no, that's not how it works.
Oh God, man.
What was his issue with doing it in the first place? Like, why did he call to say, "Should I do this?" When
Well, I maybe it was more about he didn't understand the situation.
I think some people just need to be nudged along. I mean, oftentimes people ask questions just because they're asking for permission to do something they
that's
want to
what
do
I think
anyway.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He knew what he wanted.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did.
Maybe he just wanted some props from his firehouse bros. And like, look at this! I called it to Talkin Sex Live with Chet and Diane, and they want to see us. I got on the show with my crazy question.
I mean, if it
clearly
helps, it
lumped.
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, he listens. He's clearly has advice from you guys he was using in this, so maybe he does just want to brag about it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you got that figured out then.
That's the end of Talkin' Sex Live.
I'm Chet.
And I'm Diane.
We had a marathon today. Dr. Elliot was amazing. Our caller was great.
Yeah.
I had some great ideas about sex tech. I am really looking forward to trying out his cock ring and figuring out if I can actually prolong my orgasms.
Be harder, longer, faster, stronger.
In like the $1 Million Man.
Yeah, or Daft Punk.
Yeah, Daft Punk. So Diane wanted to have some tantra sex for her New Year's sexual resolution, and I feel like this sex toy would actually really help us out.
I think it would help us out. Remember to like and subscribe.
And please stay sex positive as well as safe, sane, and consensual. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Ember. It's great to have you guys on, and also have a good night.